to do with your candidate, Dr. George Mohan?
Well, for me, yes, you're right. I'm a member of Labour Party, and I support the Labour Party candidate. But quite frankly, everybody that is involved with this election is my brothers, my sisters, and everything. I'm not in ballot. I've been governor 13 years ago, so I'm not in this. I'm strictly in Champions League of Nigerian politics and contesting to be president of Nigeria. So for people who are in first division, I wish them well. And I'm sure they will do very well. Whoever wins, let him serve the people. Nigerian.
Nobody likes to lose. It's painful. But to some others who put in everything that they had in the process to unseat Soludo. And they crisscrossed one of them, for example, who put in everything. Organized, had his photo, even though it wasn't on the ballot, had his picture on the billboards all over the state. Just the same way, they let him on the Ojukwu raise his hand and asked the Anambra to vote. He thought that he would also come and raise somebody's hand and to unseat Soludo. You could touch the bitterness, you could touch. He came, organized rallies, marched through streets, went on community tours. I even saw the video where he was pleading with his own community not to let him down at the election. And the election came. He saw something that he never ever imagined in his life. But somebody who can imagine it sits down sulking after failing abstinence. And but I can understand it. If you finish pleading with your community not to let you down, we allowed, and then we felt in sympathy with him. We even ignored his polling units, at least let him, while we focused on the wards. Now, Apuga, we won all the 4 wards in that his community, all of them clear. He left it, we thought we didn't contest for his polling unit. We thought he can at least take his polling unit. But lo and behold, ABC defeated him in his polling unit when Apuga took the entire other wards. So I can understand it. I can understand why, if you are a serial loser and you see somebody else ascending, you sought to stop us, you couldn't. In 4 years, what we have spent in 4 years is less than what he spent in 1 year in dollar terms. But in terms of the record, the people spoke. The people, from his polling unit to his ward to his community to Anambra, all over, 21 over 21 local governments, and so on and so forth. So I can understand if somebody is feeling that frustration, why that it might be getting to his head a little bit. Maybe. And so you now see him talking. Somebody showed me what he was saying on the about the election and that kind of thing. Then I laughed and I said to somebody, I think something is beginning. I'm going to call a meeting of committee of friends so that we can get to him to advise him, my brother. Or at least we can take him to Fun City so that he can relax. Otherwise, when you now get on, we try to coach him to play in League One after I had finished playing the World Cup. We coached him to play in League One, but he just left League One, injured player, stranded, confused, and with no club.
Oh, there you go.
With no club. Now, in the fullness of time, when the time comes, because I saw a remark somebody was making about education. Say, your education. The fullness of time will get the record out of how somebody deliberately and intentionally destroyed the public education system in Anambra. And we will show that. So if you are getting frustrated that somebody is doing what you couldn't even think about, don't vent it on the people. Just go home, get a life. Because idleness and serial losses can get into somebody's head. So we're advising him to just...
Hello and welcome to Inside Out News, bringing you the fresh angles in Nigerian politics with clarity and insight. Today we are unpacking a sharp exchange between two major political figures, Peter Obi and Charles Soludo. Obi fought Soludo's bitter outburst, calls for humility and gratitude. He also uses a striking football metaphor, Champions League versus First Division, to illustrate his points. Let's dive in. First, the background. At the recent Guild of Editors meeting in Abuja, Peter Obi responded publicly to remarks made by Charles Soludo at his certificate of return ceremony. Soludo had mocked Obi, calling him a frustrated politician without a club, and accused him of damaging the education system in Anambra State. Obi described that response as unfortunate and bitter. He pointed out that at a moment meant for celebration and thanksgiving, Soludo instead chose to show resentment. So the stage is set, one man celebrating victory, the other reminding him of leadership's demand. Obi's message is threefold. 1. Humility and gratitude. He urged Soludo to appreciate God's mercies and respond to victory with grace rather than bitterness. 2. Service over resentment, as Obi put it. Leadership is not about resentment or bitterness. It's about service, gratitude, and love for our people. 3. A metaphor for political positioning. He said, if gubernatorial candidates are in the First Division, I am in the Champions League. In other words, he argues that his national politics experience puts him on a different level. That metaphor raises the stakes. It's not just about Anambra, but about national significance. So what does this exchange mean? For Soludo, his re-election as governor gives him a strong provincial mandate, but Obi's critique suggests that the mandate comes with an expectation of magnanimity, not derision of others. For Obi, though no longer a state-level executive, he positions himself as a national leader with a broader platform and higher moral ground for Anambra/Nigerian peoples. The squabble highlights a deeper tension, local versus national, technocrat versus populist, humility versus boastfulness. Analysts suggest this is not just a personal spat. It reveals how the elite compete not just for office, but for moral capital and legacy. And for voters, it raises the question, do we value how leaders treat others or only how they treat us? Here are some angles viewers should keep an eye on. Tone going forward. Will Soludo respond with more provocation, or will he shift to a humble tone as Obi suggests? Public perception. Will voters reward gratitude and grace, or will they favor boldness and challenge? Next moves by Obi. Is this metaphor a prelude to another national push? Is he signaling his relevance ahead of 2027? Impact in Anambra. How will this intrastate rivalry play out among party members and influencers there? In short, this isn't just words. It may set the tone for future contests, alliances, and public expectations. Thanks for watching this edition of Inside Out News. If you found this analysis helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into Nigeria's political landscape. And let us know in the comments, do you agree with Obi's critique of Soludo? Does leadership demand humility first? See you again in the next video. Stay informed, stay curious, and stay tuned. Till then, this Inside Out News. Thanks for watching.